I tell you something, this team, this Paris Saint-Germain team under Enrique, this could be the year when they finally break their Champions League curse. What a team they are. Honestly, I think that even if Arsenal get through and do Real Madrid, as good as Arsenal were last night, they're going to struggle to deal with Paris Saint-Germain. Their forward line is completely different. None of them have an off day, and they work in a system miles better than what Real Madrid do. They are scarily good. And depth, oh my God, depth. Credit to Villa, first of all. Coming away from that game there, 2-1, that would have been a great result for Aston Villa. It would have been a mega result. And you can never say never. And obviously, the Villa Park atmosphere, big night, quarter-final of the Champions League, what had been missing for years at the highest level, all of that. Yeah, bring that in. They still would have been beaten by this Paris Saint-Germain side. They were just a cut above and a different league to anything else right now. No problem. No, I can completely see why they have already won their league and League One, completely cruised it with games to go. And the level that they're at right now is incomparable to anything else. Like even Barcelona, who've smashed Borussia Dortmund tonight, they just seem to have the strength in depth and strength, and every single player on that pitch looks immense. They don't carry anybody. There's no freeloaders at all in an Enrique side, and PSG are just at it non-stop. To think that this team was on the brink of not qualifying through the league phase and was almost out of the competition until they absolutely turfed Manchester City up. And from that moment, they have been the best league form in Europe by a mile. The only blip on PSG's resume or on their record after that Manchester City victory really has been Liverpool and that lucky win. But they did exactly what they did to Liverpool tonight, but they got their rewards, PSG. They got the goals. And Aston Villa, as we know, are not as good as Liverpool. And credit to them for hanging on like they did, Aston Villa. But 29 shots tells you everything to what Villa had there. PSG absolutely bamboozled that Villa defence, pulled them to and fro. Shout-outs, obviously, Désiré Doué, a player that Manchester United were looking at in the summer that everyone was after. PSG went out of their way to make sure that they got Désiré Doué, and boy, what a goal. Again, they are just a phenomenal side, but players like that add that X factor. And then you look at the likes of Vitinha, you look at João Neves, you look at Kvaratskhelia. Seriously, you just cannot compete with that. Dembele, Barcola. There are too many players in that PSG side that you would have to try and take out the game to try and make any impact. When you've got a team like that, and what I mean by this is what you're talking here is like the levels of Barcelona back in the day. Every single man on that pitch knows exactly what he is doing. Every single player on that pitch is drilled by that coach. They play with an intensity which he manages from the sideline. And Enrique, I think, obviously now, looking at this and what he's got, this is the best team that he has had at any club at any level. And we're talking the Barças, we're talking the Spanish side, we're talking now the best that he's ever had. And it was an impossible task for Aston Villa, no matter which way you look at it. And credit, Rodgers got that goal, surprise lead for Aston Villa, and you're thinking dreamland, but really, at the back of your mind, you're also thinking there's not a chance in hell that Villa are keeping a clean sheet here in Paris. They are just too good. They have beaten everybody. They've already beaten the two sides above them in the Premier League in City and Liverpool. Embarrassed them, in fact. Liverpool give a good account of themselves, of course, but PSG played them both off the park. They've just got too much. And that's it. It's simple as that. When you've got too much talent in your side and every single one of them players is playing for that manager, they are an unstoppable force. It doesn't matter how well you've played all season, what good players you've got in your side, how good Unai Emery is in Europe and how good he's managing and getting to the latter stages of knockout competitions in Europe. It counts for absolutely nothing when you come up against that. And that was exceptional. And the fact that they managed to get Kvaratskhelia in January, in a January transfer window from a challenging title side in Napoli in Italy, is outstanding. I just don't get that deal. I never got that deal when it was happening in January, and that is the difference from PSG having that tiny little bit more than another massive club like probably Barcelona or someone like that, who this team will reach in the final, because there's no way that Arsenal are taking down PSG. As good as Arsenal are, if they get through Madrid, that is, obviously after that miraculous performance last night, PSG are unstoppable. They really are. They shouldn't have lost to Liverpool. Like I said before, that's the only blip that they've had on their recent run of form. They shouldn't have lost to Liverpool. That was just a freak result. And Alisson had one of them games. I mean, Martinez was always going to be the busier goalkeeper tonight. And Villa were always going to give an half-decent account of themselves. They're a good side, but they're not an exceptional side. That's what PSG are. PSG are probably one of the best sides that I've watched play football in over 10 years. That's how good they are. And we're talking this side would beat Pep's top Manchester City side. Guaranteed. That's my statement from the night. This Paris Saint-Germain side would compete with Pep's treble-winning side and beat them, I think. They're better. And their intensity. Oh, my God. How do you keep that up? How do you stay at that level for 90 minutes, week in, week out? Because of the coach. Because of what he brings and the passion that he brings and what he gets out of his players. And then you've got an ownership model there. Yeah, you could say it's just money and beyond, and it's not really fair on the rest of the league. But they've invested in Enrique's vision, and you can see Enrique running through every single one of them players. Wow, the recruitment from PSG is outstanding. It really, honestly, it is like, I cannot, I've said it a minute, I can't get over Kvaratskhelia. The fact that they got João Neves in there as well. Vitinha in that midfield also. I mean, it's just an abundance of talent. Absolutely ridiculous. And that team will not be beaten. You watch tonight, the champions of Europe. PSG will lift that trophy. I'm saying it right now. PSG will lift the Champions League trophy in May. And that will be their first one, and away they go from there. They are the team to watch. They are the team to beat, and there is no one that's going to come anywhere near them. And I challenge anybody to come in the comment section and say there's another team out there that's going to beat this PSG side. I've seen nobody. And the only thing I found more amazing than this team is the fact that they were almost out of this competition. And all of a sudden, they flicked a switch and they turned it on. And that's a sign of a mega team. When you can be so bad, but then I'll sit down and probably have a meeting or whatever they did and got out of the air, got out into the air, whatever differences they had or what they had to deal with, because something must have happened for them to go from that to this and look the way that they did tonight. There is no way back from this right now, and it is full steam ahead. They've already won the league. They will win the Champions League. That is my bet, and that is my statement of the night. Challenge me in the comment section below. Please give the video a like, and I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, and join the Football Talks army. Thanks, everybody. See you in the next video.